China's twice-a-decade Communist Party Congress is set to open in Beijing today. All eyes will be on the party's leader and China's President Xi Jinping, who's likely to come out of the meeting with a landmark third term at the helm. And this would cement his position as arguably the most powerful Chinese leader since Mao Zedong. Sweeping personnel changes are also expected at the top echelons of the party. And all this is expected to shape China's trajectory as it faces fresh headwinds. And for more on this, we have Olivia Siong joining us now from the Great Hall of the People in Beijing. Olivia, a much anticipated event. What can we expect from today's meeting?
Yes, Ella. Well, we are here at the Great Hall of the People. Today marks the start of a closely watched party congress that takes place only once every 5 years. About 2,300 delegates have gathered from across the country here in the Chinese capital. They're about to enter the hall and the auditorium here to witness the opening ceremony that's to take place in less than an hour's time. Now, this is a place that has hosted many important meetings in the country's history, and this particular party congress really looks set to be another historic one, as we are expecting Chinese President Xi Jinping to be given an unprecedented third term at the helm. And he is set to deliver a report at this opening ceremony. It's a speech that's expected to be heavy in ideology, political jargon. But what we will be looking out for are any signs of policy change as Mr. Xi tries to steer the country through some very challenging times. We're talking about a slowdown in China's economy, expected to miss its GDP growth target this year of about 5.5%. Also, we are expecting, and we have seen, growing frustration with China's zero COVID policy, not to mention China's tensions with the West that has been exacerbated by its close relationship with Russia. So while analysts tell me they don't expect huge policy shifts, given that Mr. Xi has laid out his policy agenda in his last 2 terms over the last 10 years, what we will be looking out for are any tweaks or new ideas that he may have, and as he sets out his vision for the next 5 years or even beyond. Now, we are also expecting this perhaps to be a rather lengthy speech. Mr. Xi at the last party congress in 2017 spoke for 3.5 hours. This time around, we don't know how long his speech will go on for, but the last speech was so long that even his predecessor, Hu Jintao, at the end of it even pointed at his watch, looking to signal about the time. But definitely going to be a closely watched speech for the world's second largest economy.
Well, Olivia, we just saw some live pictures there of the delegates, this corridor where they're really answering questions from the press. They represent more than about 96 million Communist Party members nationwide and have the task of perhaps endorsing plans that will determine the trajectory of the world's second largest economy over the next 5 years. Perhaps you could let us know what else is also on the agenda for this week-long event.
Yeah, the meetings are going to go on for about a week, and the Congress will wrap up next Saturday. We know that there are a few things on the agenda following today's opening. One of the things we'll be looking out for are amendments to the party's constitution. Now, we are expecting, according to many China watchers, for President Xi's ideological thought, his political thinking and vision to be elevated with this amendment in the constitution to a level that's on par with Mao Zedong. And this will be an important signal. His political theory expected to be shortened to just Xi Jinping's thought. And this is something that no other Chinese leader would have achieved. And that looks to be on the cards. We had a hint of that yesterday at a news conference where the party congress spokesperson said that the revision will incorporate achievements in the last 5 years and viewpoints presented at the party congress, adding that there has been widespread support for the amendments of this constitution. And this really is consistent with what we have seen in the lead up to this party congress, with state media officials effusive praise for Mr. Xi and his position at the core of the Communist Party. Now, another thing we'll be looking out for the announcement as to who will make up the top leadership of the Communist Party. The day after the Congress ends, we will expect to finally see the lineup for the party's top decision, a Politburo Standing Committee. And at that point, we will know who are the leaders who will be leading the country forward. Also, an indication of the kind of influence that Mr. Xi has been able to amass in his 2 terms by deciding who is surrounding him in this all-important, standing committee, leading the country forward.